peoples? Nick Durant here with Tattoo University. We are going to somewhere.
What he's trying to say is Nick Durant here with Tattoo University. We're on our way to Silmar, California
Visit Eric to get a tattoo and talk about tattoo stuff. And we're bringing you along with us. This is where Tattoo University is going. We are hitting the road and visiting other tattoo artists. Alright, here we are. Getting ready to get tattooed by Eric. Gonna be some good stuff. Awesome shop. Alright, let's go in. Here we go. Alright.
I was wondering who's he talking to.
Alright, I'm talking to my phone. There's Eric over there getting ready.
Hello, fellas.
There it is. Alright. Here's what we're gonna work on. There's some stencil solution, some 3D prints, some awesome stuff there. We're getting ready. I'm pushing some coils on Eric today.
He's forcing them on me.
I'm forcing coils on Eric.
Today's gonna be a coil day.
Coil day. I love the coils, so I'm gonna help him out with the coils. We're gonna make this happen. Haha, your hat, you don't even have a hat. That's the back of my wife's head.
The best part of me, so.
I wouldn't say that. There I am. Look, I fit in that mirror right there.
There you go.
I like this mirror. It makes me look skinny.
So this is gonna be awesome.
All right. So with this stuff, you don't need to use a lot. Yeah, like that other.
Just
You
a
use
little dab?
like a dime, a little bit more. I would say about that size again. Yeah, this stuff goes. It's like a gel, so it goes a long way. Yeah, because it'll just feel wet, and
Right.
that's when you know it's good. Like,
Right.
and then that'll stick right on there. See, that's the thing is everybody thinks because they use that other stuff that
Right.
you need a lot.
A lot.
And with this,
No, I actually use
like,
a little bit, to be honest, because
Yeah.
it goes a long ways.
Yeah, so a little dime size dollop will do you on
Right.
this. Sorry. There it is. See?
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna bullshit you now, but I
See?
do like you.
What'd I tell you? Like, and so here's the thing. If you wait like 15 minutes,
Right.
dude, that thing will be on there. Like with me, I just go to town. I start tattooing.
No, I do that too. I just
you
go
know.
to town.
Yeah, because, if you got to, but for the new guys who have a hard time, this stencil stuff, you wait like 15 minutes and you won't be able to get that off. Like, even I had the problem the other day that I put a stencil on somebody and it was so dark and purple and it wouldn't come off that I was like, did I tattoo that area or is that the stencil, All right, we're doing double shots here. Eric on one side, Nick Durant on the other.
That's right.
Eric's live, and I'm gonna edit this. We put these machines together, and I always test my machines out. But this is Eric doing the tattoo, so his hand speed might be a little different than mine. His setup, his inks. We might need to make some adjustments, or we might just need to go back to what's comfortable for Eric. But hey, I like pushing people out of their comfort zones.
Yeah, you pushed me already.
So I've already pushed Eric out of his comfort zone. So I usually tattoo like really slow, and I have a really slow hand speed, which kind of what I see Eric doing there. And I also see we got a dark line in there.
How did your machine make my shit dark though?
Because that's the magic of my machines.
Hell no.
I brought you this too.
All right. So, are you trying to do a gray line? Is it going too dark? See,
Hell yeah.
I go real dark, dude.
No,
Look at
I
my
like
wife's
real light.
tattoo. Show him the tattoos on your arm. I know. I'm helping.
that what you're doing?
He wants to go lighter. I just tell him I usually go real dark. See how dark these tattoos are? Like,
Yeah, that's
I
nice.
go dark. So.
Yeah, it's nice, but for
But
some
for
crazy reason,
outlining, if you want gray line, yeah. Yeah, so here's the thing. You always want to do a test line. Especially if you have new machines or something you're not comfortable with, you run a test line
Which
to
is
see if it works. See, and then you kind of got to get the speed down. You got to get used to the machine. You know, it's gonna be frustrating. I'm probably frustrating Eric really.
No,
good right
you're
now.
not. You're pushing me to get something new.
Yeah, and that's another reason why you're probably getting really dark blacks. And so if you guys are having a hard time getting dark outlines, man, just use a shader or a color packer on it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
And use a thick ink because, dude, I get dark outlines. My tattoos are dark. I always get questions like, is that a new tattoo? Like, why is that so dark? You know?
I get that question, not you.
Well, my wife gets that question all the time. I just get to live through my wife. Nobody talks to me about my tattoos, except for this one. I'm sure they're going to talk about this one. Even if I get a new machine, I always test it out, you know? And some machines won't work for you, you know? Some machines just don't fit with the person, you know? I recently got rid of and sold a really expensive rotary machine that I didn't like it. Just for that reason, like it just wasn't my style. It didn't work for me, you know? You're getting some grays in there now.
Right. You gotta play with it. I think a little more ink,
Yeah.
so it came out a little lighter now.
So the conversation we had earlier too was that everybody has a different way of mixing grays. So Eric likes to put white and actually work with gray. What I tend to do is just use black and then just water it down. This is gonna be awesome, dude. You know why? I have no tattoos on that arm, man.
For real?
Yeah.
Hello.
You know how lopsided I felt for the longest time? Like one-sided?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm right-handed, right? So all of my tattoos where I practice on myself are on the left side.
Of course.
You know, so I just feel lopsided as hell. So this is a move in the right direction, you know?
To balance you out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm giving balance to your life, yeah?
And it's a Buddha head, so it's balancing me out in more ways than one, you know?
So what I do basically is I run a gray wash, real light, so that I can give me the space for the shading to accommodate it the way I want it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it gives me the space to either leave it light or go dark, or change the outline if I wasn't too pleased with it, you know?
See, that's what people don't understand. They think if you tattoo, like, it's permanent. Like, every time you touch somebody, it's permanent. But you do these lines, the gray lines, and then you can come back in and fix them and cover them up or shade them, like kind of get rid of them. A lot of people, I think they just put too many lines in things. You know, if it's a sticker tattoo, like you want it to look like cartoony, you want those lines. But with this kind of stuff, you don't want like bold, solid lines everywhere. You just want that light gray line with some shading in there.
So yeah, because basically I don't want too much lines on this because it's gonna be shading.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted that gray one.
And I don't feel comfortable with them. I don't like doing blood lines, but I guess especially with like someone all pale like me and stuff, you can kind of do.
Because I could see them clearly.
Yeah. Yeah. So does everybody know what your nickname is?
Machine.
The machine.
Nah.
that was
your
my nickname.
Yeah.
My nickname for you because, like, dude, shooting that many videos, man, people don't realize it takes time and effort, you know?
Yeah.
They just think, like, it just, you know, comes out of the air and is just there, you know?
Yeah.
They don't realize, like, how much effort, like, you gotta set up the camera. Like, this is what always happens. I set up my camera and it auto adjusts and everything goes fuzzy. And you can't see anything.
Yeah.
It's like you almost need a whole film crew. So Eric right now is tattoo artist and film crew, doing two jobs.
I'm a
lighting.
director
You're
as
the
well.
lighting expert. You know, like, it's crazy what it takes to do this kind of stuff.
Sometimes I have to cut off, to be honest, because the camera's on my way.
Oh yeah. Oh dude,
There's been a few times
I've
where
tattooed with a camera right in front of me one time. Not a little phone camera. I'm talking like one of those old school like camcorders, something like they probably film ET with or something,
Damn.
you know. And then the lights, dude, in here is cool. With all the lights like right on you, it gets hot, dude. You start sweating while you're tattooing.
no, you don't need the lights to
You're in
start
like
sweating.
a
You
sweat
just need
shop.
to pick up the machine.
Yeah. And like everything gets hot, so next thing you know, you're like, why am I sweating so much?
I
you
could be
know?
cold, and the moment I start tattooing, within minutes, I'll start sweating. Not sweating, but hot. Like, okay, time to take off my thermal. Time to take off this. Time to do that.
And as soon as you put the gloves on, you're like, oh, I don't want to stop, take the gloves off to take my jacket off, so I'll just sweat it out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I tune these machines, people watching, you know?
Right.
And I keep telling people, man, if you need your machines fixed, you can send them to me, and I'll fix them up for you.
Right.
I mean, I want to teach people how to tune machines, but sometimes, you know, I got a background in construction and welding and, you know, like things that help me understand machines. So if you can't get it, just send them to me, you know, for cheap.
Right. That's where I'm at. Honestly, I'm a coil. I like them rotaries because coils, I don't know how to adjust them, bro.
Well, and
That's a part of that's my headache right there.
people probably think that I don't like rotaries, but I do. But the thing is every tattoo, like I pick the machine, I'm like, okay, what's the best machine for this tattoo, you know? And with the coils, it's just, they're so much easier to keep running. All those cheap rotaries just break, you know? So the reason why I'm always using coils is because I can fix them. The reason why I don't use rotaries is they always break and I run out.
Yeah.
I mean, because I love that little whip. They had the little swash stripe whip knockoff, and I'm like, one of these days,
Oh,
I'm gonna
I
buy
had a
that.
cheap one?
Yeah, I want a good
And let me
one.
tell
though.
you, I had a cheap one.
Dude, those
they
were good.
freaking work.
But the motor, like just after a while, the motor was like, like
Yeah.
instead of, you know, it was just like,
But I'll tell you,
know?
something. I put in a good year with one of the
Yeah. Oh
knockoffs.
yeah. And so you can, you know, the expensive ones are a couple $100. So you can just buy like 5 of those little cheapies and just run through them. They break, just, you know, take it out and get the new one, you know? Take that one out of rotation and just, that it's like, if you buy cheap, you just need to buy 2 or 3 of them. You know, if you go expensive, yeah, you'll have that thing for a really long time. And it'll probably work really good. They just go out. This is just the coil machine, and they're little cheap guys that someone sent them to me because they couldn't fix them. And what I've done is, because when I first started tattooing, I got a kit, and I knew nothing about tattooing. But those little machines, they always got the skulls on them and stuff. I took them apart, put them together, took them apart. I did it so many times that I figured out how to get them to run good. So if you don't know what you're doing, these cheapy machines probably won't work for you. But what I've done is I put silicone underneath that keeps the wires from touching. You know, so everybody shorts out the wires, but you put a little silicone in there, it doesn't short out the wires. I leave a little bit of gap in here, and the front touches, because everyone puts a big gap, and then you have to crank up your voltage. If you just put the slightest little gap in there, you lower your voltage, you know. They're mostly 10 rad machines, so they use more voltage. Like your little 8 rad uses 4, you know. So if this was an 8 rad, you could probably go down to 4, 5, 6 volts, you know.
So the voltage doesn't matter. What's the difference in like 8s and 10s?
Because there's more wire, it needs more to work.
Right.
Like, because less wire, you need less voltage. So you can get a 8 rad to work with less voltage, and these will heat up, and then you start turning up your voltage, and then it heat up and you turn up your voltage more, so it just causes more and more problems with
You gotta
more
keep
voltage.
playing with your power.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you want to just tattoo. You don't want to fiddle with stuff. Man, when I first started tattooing, I was always fiddling, and I feel like people looked at me like, "What's this idiot doing?" Because instead of tattooing, I'm I'm always messing like, oh, this is broke or that's broke. I had a couple of swash drive machines, like the knockoffs, not the swash drive, the stealth. And during a tattoo, the damn thing broke on me and started making really loud noise. And it's supposed to be a stealth, right? Like quiet. And this thing just started going, wah, you know, like crazy. If this is in tune correctly, it also heats up. It's the heat. So the electricity and the heat.
What is that machine? I've seen a machine. Not that squash drive one.
This one right here?
No, the one you just pulled out.
Oh,
squash drive.
so here, you want to hand it to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's you seen it from Hector.
Hector uses those.
But Hector had the original one.
Yeah.
So what is that? Is it
It's a knockoff.
So
It's a knockoff.
this is a little rotary. Little rotary. I don't. Can people see it?
it's a
Like,
the rotary machine.
all right. And now, usually with machines, I like to wear gloves, but special circumstances, guys, don't hurt me on this. Okay.
no.
So you can adjust it. It has this little clip right here. So if you want it to hit hard for like color packing and for lining, you just move that sucker up and it hits real hard. But if you want to move it back for shading, like then, so dude, I would put a liner in this, line the tattoo machine, put it back, and do a bunch of whip shading in it. Like, so I would do one tattoo with this thing,
Yeah,
with
so
one
did I.
needle, you know? So if you're doing like line work stuff and little cross hatching and things like that, dude, this thing was a little beast. But the motors, you know, they're cheap, they're not good, so they die. And this is the other problem. The wires, like, they hook them up so you got positive on top and negative on the bottom. So if you don't hook it up correctly, you fry the motor. The motor's supposed to move a certain direction. You flip it around, it goes the other direction. But on these machines, well, I haven't checked this one. But see, you have the positive on the bottom, negative on top. So if you hook them up the wrong way, it messes them up. So people don't realize a lot of these cheap machines, they hook them up the opposite way.
I never even knew that.
Yeah, so what I do is I look at the wiring on that. So when you hook that up, instead of, I like positive on the bottom, but I just learned
So
it
what's
with,
the bottom and top?
so this red one's positive, yeah, the top. So instead of positive on the bottom, here you have the red on the bottom. You would flip that over and put the red on top.
Red. Okay.
Yeah, so red would go in here and then the negative would go there. So your motor would go the right way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you have to look at
Oh,
the,
you mean as in building it?
well, when you're running it. So yeah, so when they build these,
Here's my light source,
or
and this is the selfie stick for where the camera is at.
so when they,
So yeah, Reyes, I do have it like so,
Americans,
pero
when they build the tattoo machines, they like
it's
the
just
negative
sometimes the
on
sizing
bottom,
and the
positive on
position
top,
of the.
you know, but a lot of these are made in China and other places, and I don't knock on, you know, China, where they come from, just how they're built, you know. So I just call them cheap
I have a couple
instead
photo
of,
machines
you
in
know,
there that like I learned off of.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you take a look at it.
Yeah, I'll look at them. So, but a lot of them are hooked up differently. It's like how we use the standard system, they all use the metric system. Like our tattoos are all positive on the bottom, negative on top, and they're all switched around, you know? So, I don't know if they do that intentionally or I don't know how.
That's a good one right there.
I would have to figure that one out.
How do you feel your lining is with this machine? With the rotor?
Monday?
How do you feel the difference?
There's a big difference. First of all, I don't know it, so there's the unknown. Secondly, it's
I
heavy.
see. I
Yeah.
noticed a couple of your lines. You're hitting them twice, and then with the other one, it was just
Yeah.
really-
Y con el,
Probably
y
the
este,
reason-
it's está heavy. If anything, what I advise is using a weight para que ya lo tengas
Like a
bien.
counterweight
Yeah.
or a heavier.
But
You know, I
actually-
always, even with these, I always wrap it with the medical tape too.
Yeah.
You know, just to make it, my hands.
Well, I'm gonna end up doing that right
I'm
now
getting
because I can
older,
already
you know,
feel my
so-
hand, my pulse getting weaker.
Okay, so this is not set up as a liner.
Put this right here first.
Yeah.
This is set up as a color packer. If you look at the stroke of the armature bar, it's really long. So the long stroke, that's for packing color. But if you have really thick ink, you can, or you run real slow, because it's all timing. It's all about timing. The long stroke allows that to get into the ink so that it sticks on the needle and it goes in. That's why you got that really dark line on the first one
No
you did.
shit, I saw it.
So if you want really dark
Mira,
lines,
let me interrupt you real quick.
yeah. See that?
Este es mi 2, homie. el 2, que es supposed to be así más bajito que esto, it's supposed to be así. When I run this on my machine, it comes out to about this. Sometimes even so.
What do you think? You ran it slow?
Nah, I ran the normal with homeboy's machine and watch her.
Okay, so can I borrow your arm again, babe? Can we show the world your arm?
That's right.
Show them your owl or your feather. Here, just poke your arm down here for a second.
Okay, we've got to make sure that the jiggle
Just show them this one. Show them this one. See how dark the line work is in that? So that's what I like to do. If you look at a lot of, like, I go dark on, and that's my style. Like, I really should do like gothic stuff because
And
I'm
it is
really
dark,
into the darks, you know.
And it really is dark. I like, to be honest.
Yeah, and this is
And it
stuff.
stays dark, 'cause I'm
This
gonna
is
paste
stuff
the
that
white
I started when I was learning. But look how dark it's still. You know, it's like I hand poke this right here, and look how dark that is. You know, and that's yellow, hand poked yellow, and it's still in there. I just tested out. I was like, let's see if yellow will stick. How long
could
ago
see
did
it.
we tattoo that? Oh, here's this one too. Like so.
It's like 2 years.
It's still good though.
Yeah, yellow hand poked for 2 years, and you can
And
see
then
it.
yellow, I mean,
Yeah.
yellow is one of those colors where
Yellow.
So,
Not everyone
so on
likes
this machine, the stroke is real short because for line work you want to go fast. If you put a real long stroke, you gotta slow your hand down. See how slow? I mean, he's probably used to working faster, but I work slow, so I
Yeah.
use really thick ink and I just take my time on it. But if you want to work faster, you use the thinner ink and less of a stroke. Actually, I line.
Thinner ink as in what?
Dynamic is more, I don't want to say watery because that's not, it's, what's the word? What's the word? Like, it flows more.
diluted, I guess.
It flows more? Okay, we're going to just go with that.
Yeah.
So what's a thicker ink?
Eternal. I use Eternal. Bloodline is real thick, you know, and those, when I first started tattooing, that's what I was getting. And in fact, Intense is real thin. Starbright is like so thin, it's water. It just like drips out of the bottle. If I turn the bottle of Eternal or Bloodline over, like it doesn't come out. A lot of times I have to add like witch hazel or some distilled water to that just to get it to come out of the bottle, you know. But because I have such a long stroke, it gets all on the needle,
So the long
sticky,
strokes are
you know.
better for when you're running line stuff.
The opposite. If you want, just take your time and do nice dark lines. It's better that way. But if you want to run a fast line, short stroke, thin ink, because then you can just like toss it in, you know.
No, aquí.
There's I've heard from a bunch of people since I do a lot of lettering. So they said, why don't you use
Estoy agarrando la onda de coil mejor.
better for your lines?
A ver si cambio máquinas.
When I first started tattooing, people were like, "Why are you using
I don't like
these
the noise.
for line work?"
Well, that's one thing.
I don't like the noise
If you
and I don't
know
like the
machine,
heaviness.
I think if you know how the machine runs, you know, like the speed and everything that goes with that. Do you have speed and duty and all that on your machine, on your power supply? Like if you can look at that, I can tell you like, okay, that's a fast machine, short stroke, run fast. If it's a slow machine, long stroke, run slow, thicker ink, you know, like, because the thinner ink, it's like it's going to run out. So you need that needle to like get it in before it runs out, you know.
You go by that too. You think coils are better for lines? For lettering?
If you were using that machine,
Since
that
you do,
one's
like,
great
a
for
lot of
lining.
lettering, really long lines.
Do you have a fast hand or a slow hand? Like, do you fast? I would go thin ink and a fast machine. So you gotta match it to the person. I think I go slow. I take my time. You know, I build up. So like you were saying, he had to do 2 passes. Like that doesn't bother me because with my stuff, I like it being kind of more like stylized and artsy. So like, I don't want all the lines to be the same with, you know, like I'll go thicker in certain areas. I'll build them up. So for my style, a thick ink works, and I'm slower.
Yeah, there was a tattoo artist here, Gio. He was like, why don't you look into getting a really good, solid, like a good coil machine?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just use the rotary for the shading and that.
Yeah, and really, for $100, I know a bunch of builders. Like that's what the way you want to go.
That's
You know,
like the fifth person that's told me.
because for $100 you can get a machine just as good as if you. It's like a Harley and a Honda. You know that Honda is gonna run just as good, but you're gonna pay more for the Harley. So go to a builder and get a good machine. Like these are like $20 machines. Some of these are $10. That one right there is $10 machine. But if you know what you're doing, you can make them work. But if you just want one that's gonna work, you don't have to mess with it, and it's gonna work for a really long time. This one.
And you build them?
Right now, like I don't have a machine shop. But I know enough people who have machine shops and enough builders who, I can get what I need from them. Because one of the things that everybody asks me is like, where do you buy your stuff? Where do you buy your stuff? I make it, or I get somebody to make it for me. Like a lot of my stuff is like custom stuff, So
you can build like a nice liner.
Yeah.
Or something?
Are you on Instagram?
It's in the group.
Check out Hexagon Irons. But I know he's still selling stuff. So go on Instagram.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys on there. Somebody referred me to
Am I moving around?
No, you're good.
Midtown.
So what I'm doing right now, you're good.
There's tats and stuff.
What about the Eternal Triple Black? Ooh,
Oh,
you
dude.
got questions, bro?
Hey, use it. Love
hold on,
Eternal Triple Black.
Let me.
Use it, man.
Yeah,
I'm
all right,
telling you,
right
use
here.
it.
So if you use a long straw, hey,
Long
here, give me a
stroke.
bottle. Why don't you read them? That way I can continue here.
All right.
Tú sabes, Holmes.
You guys stayed here all day reading them, but yeah. So the first one goes. So if you use a long throw, it allows you to move slower in order to get dark lines.
Yes.
Question mark?
Yes. That is a yes.
Second question after that.
But
What-
slow your hand speed down too, yeah. Okay, so on this one, I would go down to 3.5, 3.6, and then see how that is.
Yeah,
Do a
because
test,
I can pick it up on a
and
tree.
then-
So,
So,
let me,
so
oh, you're good.
if you go harder, it might pack it in. So you might keep it.
I don't want to pack it in right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get
So-
it really soft.
Thanks, Javier.
Do some test line. Go soft first.
So after he said, what about the Eternal Triple Black?
Love it, dude. I use it all the time, everything. In fact, I
Eternal Triple
use the gray wash. That's what I do. So if you're using Eternal Triple Black and you do a half cup with witch hazel, it will still come out black. So even if you want it, so even if you want to
How
like
about the Dynamic? That's what I'm using for the Dynamic.
dynamic, a lot of people use dynamic. I just, I don't know, Eternal worked for me. So I stuck with Eternal. I tried Black Buddha. I tried Dynamic. I tried Intense.
Triple Black difference on a big bottle?
Yeah, you can buy the big bottle like that. I usually go with the 2 ounce
It's thicker than the Dynamic?
sticker. Oh yeah. So if you want to go thick, you want to go like Bloodline, Eternal. If you want to go thin, you want to go Dynamic. So if you're running a short stroke machine with thin ink and you want to go fast, then Dynamic's what you want. If you're running like a machine that's set up with a long stroke like a shader or color packer and you're lining with that, then you want to go Eternal, Bloodline. And then there's those ones that are kind of in the middle, like I think Moms and some other ones. But just like Eric said earlier, you have to kind of find your groove. You have to see what works, like your machine setup, the ink you're using. Everyone's like, what's the best ink? What ink's the best for you? Dynamic works for Eric. Eternal works for me. The way we both tattoo differently.
So, Javier's next question, can you put you can, well, that's not a question.
He's saying.
Yeah, you can put electrical tape under your
Yes.
armature bar to silence the machine.
Yes. Don't wrap a bunch under it, just like one layer. Now, the machine over time will leave an impression on the armature bar, and it'll kind of fit together. You'll start to see this little,
Come in here a little more.
right?
A little more like a...
You'll start to see this circle on the underside of the armature bar. So if you want to make your armature bar last long, you want to make it a little quieter, you just run a little electrical tape around that. All right. So you'll start to see this little circle right here. See how that's already, so it's starting to like, it's like an old machine where all the parts start to like just work together. And then you throw a new part in there and then your truck breaks. Just personal story there, you know? But if you keep all the old parts, they all fit together correctly, you know? So what some people actually do is they'll put a little notch on the cores and the armature bar so when they put it back on, it lines up. But what I do is I just run a little electrical tape around it, and if I ever switch it out, I just take that tape off and I switch it out, you know. I'm messing with so many machines that I don't really worry about, oh, this is exactly where it's at. I just put it where it needs to go, and it'll start to make that impression again on there. But electrical tape, I have electrical tape on all my machines, all my coil machines. I picked that up from somewhere. When I first started learning, I read tons of books. And each book had like one little good piece of information that I could take from it, you know. And I think that was one of the things I picked up, was to use a little electrical tape on it.
So the next thing Javier said was after the electrical tape, he said the only thing that's good about cheap machines are the frame. On some.
Okay,
the
so
one you're using is hard because they got cut off because you got to.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The cheap machines have cheap cores. So if you understand that and you know about machines, cores. Like, so they don't use good materials in here. If you use good materials like this one, it runs really good. But they use cheap wiring in here. So you know it's cheap and it doesn't work good, right? So you have to make that adjustment. The cheap machines, I usually just turn into liners. And then I like the better machines with the better cores, I'll do a color packer. If you know they don't pull good or they're not as good, just set them up as liners because they don't need to pull as hard and there's low tension on that. So the more you know about the machine, then like, if you know they're cheap, well, you know how to deal with that. Everybody say cheese.
I gave you a fake laugh. I hope you didn't get mine.
You gotta tag everybody in that once we figure out how to tag people. I'm so old school, man. Like, social media to me, like, you know why I love Instagram? I just like looking at pictures. I just like just show me some pictures, show me some tattoos, you know, like. So how's that working for you?
I'm still playing with it.
So
I'm still not like I can say I'm good.
Okay, but do you want to go darker?
No, not right now. No, eventually, but not right now. Right now, I want it like this.
Okay, because with a coil machine, if you want it to hit a little harder, you can just turn up your voltage a little bit. Or if you're not quite feeling it, you could put your needle out. You could hang a little bit more and kind of see. It's wherever you're comfortable with.
Right.
You know, I don't use a lot of hang on my mags.
The mags I hardly do either. That's I like them the way. Yeah. I only have. I'm gonna be like. With the mags, I got two setups to be honest.
Same thing where you have it right now.
Yeah, my rotary. That's how I mainly do it.
It doesn't look like you don't have it outside much.
I know compared to the rotary, it's because I'm more comfortable with the rotary.
Yeah.
So on the rotary, you do stick them out a little more.
Well, see, because I'm comfortable and I feel like it's part of my arm already, so I already know what.
It looks like you're going in a little harder right now too.
Basically, what's happening, it's falling off my hand and I'm trying to balance it. That's what's going on. It's not.
Yeah, see, here's the thing I do too, and my old mentor that I had used to tell me to hang it across my knuckles.
Right.
And I never liked that. I never got used to that.
No,
I let it rest
I keep
on
playing
my
with
hand.
it.
Yeah, I let it sit right in there. So when I said, this is another thing, I use my middle finger. Don't have a glove, but so I use my middle finger to rest on the side. Here, let me borrow a glove real quick. I'll try and show you. All right, so sorry, these damn sausage hands, dude.
Hey, bro.
Okay, so this keeps my hand from getting sore too. The middle finger just rests right here. This is why I can do lines real slow and real solid lines. And for shading, so I do circles. You do more, yeah. This is my trademark right here, by the way. This middle finger is mine. I came up with that.
It's a knockoff, but it's just as good.
It's a knockoff, but yeah, it'll work. So the finger sits there. Now what I do is if I want it dark, I do circles, real tight circles,
Right.
and I would loosen it up. Then I back and forth. But so then I just let the machine just sit, and then with the finger, see how it just, and then I just glide it along the skin.
Right,
so
right,
that's
right.
why my hand
Are you
doesn't
done with
get.
this?
If you're doing shading, you can do tight circles for darker, and then faster hand movements if you want it lighter. Are you putting that up my nose?
Yep.
So people don't think I'm funny. I'm telling you guys right now, I am funny as shit, dude. Like, and usually if you gotta tell people you're funny, you're not really funny, right?
Funny.
But yeah, see, I got backup. People know, like,
Tell us a
I
joke
am
then.
fucking hilarious, you know? Like, okay. No offense to anybody with a micro penis out there, but I came up with this one myself, okay? Don't hate me, dude. It's just a joke, right? Like,
Don't take it personal.
don't take it personal. Hey, you do your thing, you know? Like, so, what did the tattoo artist with a micro penis tell his client for the first time? For the client getting his first tattoo?
Oh, bro, I never been in the spots. Oh, shit.
Okay, don't worry, you're just gonna feel a little prick. Hey, I am pretty sure I made that up myself, or I heard it somewhere a long time ago, and I thought I made it up. I don't know,
That sounds good.
but yeah, it makes sense though. It's funny in
Gonna
two
feel a
ways
little prick.
because it's like, yeah, it's a prick. But you want to read the comments? There's even comments. I know we got somebody on there because they were asking a lot of questions.
There's a Javier, Javier? Yeah, Javier Reyes.
Because I have an issue with my line work. I can't figure out why when it's fresh it looks dark, but when it heals
You're not going deep
it
enough.
fades out. What can be some factors?
You're not going deep enough. You need to adjust
And he
your
also
needle
said
depth.
you're a nut.
I am a nut. If you know me, you know that I am a nut. Okay, so
Okay, but answer his question.
I did.
Oh, never
You're
mind.
not enough depth. So you need to learn how to read a tattoo. I can look at a tattoo and tell what's wrong with it. I've picked this up from all of you guys sending me pictures of your tattoos, asking me what's wrong with them. If it looks faded, but it doesn't fall out, it looks gray like it's old. As soon as you tattoo it, you went too deep because all your line work went fuzzy on you, right? If it falls out, but there's no tattoo there whatsoever when it's done, you didn't go deep enough. So there's too deep and there's not deep enough. And I think you're just not going deep enough. That was it. Javier, dude, you rock. You're keeping it going right now, man. Okay,
I'ma
hey,
tell
ask
you-
away. You got two dudes right here who know their shit, dude. Ask away.
He's the only one interested right now. He's the one asking all these questions. That's Mr. Javier Reyes right here.
Javier, that's not bad. That's a good thing. Turn that thing upside down and then hang your needle out and do a test run. Do a test line. See if it's dark. If it's not dark, do another line. Put your needle out a little bit more and do another line.
Maybe he says, I would really like a video explaining the spring tension for different purposes.
Lining and color packing, I use less tension. Shading, I use more tension because with lining and color packing, you're just putting it in solid. Sorry, dude, I'm getting gross on you. Sorry, I'm drinking a Rockstar and I'm burping over here.
I'm on burping too, don't trip.
Oh, jeez.
That's
Hold on, I
good.
gotta get the burps out.
That's good. I like to feel more comfortable burping too.
I feel like Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory,
Yeah.
where I'm just like, I gotta burp to stay
Okay,
alive.
so if it falls out, you're going too deep?
No, you're not going deep enough. If it looks gray and stays in there, you went too deep. And I would rather go too light than too deep. Because you can fix it if it falls out. If you go too deep, it's just going to look jacked up. And you're going to hurt somebody. It's going to scar, and then it's going to be even harder to tattoo later. I got distracted. What was I talking about? Oh, tension. Okay. liners and color packers, you want it solid. So you put less tension, it packs it in. If you want shading, you want to work at it a little bit. See, Eric's kind of working it a little bit. He's not just putting it in solid. Like if he was doing color and he did that with low tension, that would be solid black right now. But see, with a shader, you're going in light and you're building it up. So you just put more tension. For me, I do 350 for color packers and liners. And then I do like 400 to 450 for shaders. That's it, man. I'm taking this like a champ, by the way.
Yeah, you are.
See, all you guys who squirm around when you get tattooed, you know,
I think you're jumping around a little bit. Javier asked on the rear spring or front spring?
okay, when you're talking about tensions, you're not talking about the front spring. Front spring has nothing to do with your tensions. You're just talking about the rear spring, because as soon as that front spring leaves the contact screw, there's nothing there. There's no tension there. But your rear spring is always pushing that armature back up. And plus, too, if you're getting too many snags, if your needle is sticking in the skin and it's not coming out, you don't have enough rear tension.